YOLO. You only love one. I don't think that's true. I think you love more than once. I know you only live once. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Morning Mics. It's just happening right now. It's happening on a Tuesday. It's a Super Tuesday. It's a big Tuesday in the United States of America. Tonight we have the State of the Union address. That we'll get into that in a second. I've been texting with a very good friend of mine. A guy's become a good friend. And he's on, I have friends of all ages, and he is on the USA men's hockey team. He's on the gold medal winning hockey team. And we have exchanged texts about this moment in time, about the victory, and then about what happened after the victory, about the guy that came into the locker room and sort of put himself in the middle of a moment that he did not belong in, that's caused a little bit of unrest everywhere. Will we address this topic today? Oh yeah. And we will parcel it out. And you know what we will use? Nuance, okay? There isn't just a, this is right, this is wrong. There's nuance to it. I just want to say good morning to you, Vicky, Billy and Steve, chat friends. Hey there, everybody. How are you? Good morning, good morning. Oh, my God, do you live in the East Coast? And are you okay? Good morning, Steve and crew from Dr. Cole 22. I'm thinking about Lindsey Vonn this morning. Oh my God. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about our guy, Peter Murphy. I'm hoping he can show up. I don't know. I texted Peter. I thought about it too late, but I thought, oh my God, it would be great to see if Peter Murphy, of our Canton Bureau, Canton, Massachusetts Bureau Chief Peter Murphy shows up. I got a feeling with that snowblower he was operating yesterday that he might have can you see huge piles of snow on either side of his lawn and yet a perfectly cut walkway? Oh, I think so.
Now, Billy,
we want an impression, Billy.
I want to clear up for
Johnny.
The South Shore Boston people. He worked in Canton, but he's dialing in from Marshfield.
Marshfield?
He's in Marshfield.
Oh, he's in Marshfield. Of course he is. All right, Johnny. The whole thing to me is I always think of Family Guy. What's his name? Not Peter Murphy, but Peter, the Family Guy. Peter, it's Peter. I know it's Peter. Is it Peter Murphy? No. On Family Guy. All right, first guy in the chat section. Come on, clean this. Peter Griffin. Should we call Peter Murphy Peter Griffin? Peter Murphy is our Peter Griffin from Marshfield. All right, let's get into that weather right there. The high impact bomb cyclone starting to depart New England after dumping up to 3 feet of snow. You know who got pounded the hardest? Providence, Rhode Island. Isn't that an interesting word? Providence. Okay? The manifestation of divine direction, right? The care of God. And maybe God is saying, there's some stuff going down in your country that you all people need to fix, okay? And I'm going to bomb cyclone you right now. I don't know, probably not, but 40 million people were under blizzard warnings. I just love the term bomb cyclone. Don't you think a couple of nerd meteorologists were sitting around together I got it, bomb cyclone. They're like, oh yeah, that'll generate headlines. And it's a beauty. It's a beauty. A bomb cyclone or an explosive cyclogenesis. Oh, what a great word. Oh my God, weather people everywhere just get so titillated by that. An explosive cyclogenesis is a rapidly intensifying storm occurring when atmospheric pressure drops by at least, get ready for this one, 24 millibars. 24 millibars in 24 hours. That's a lot of millibar dropping. I'm going to say that. It's driven by a drastic collision of the cold Arctic air and the warm, moist ocean air. Oh my God. High intensity winds, heavy precipitation, blizzard-like conditions. All these people just got pounded on the East Coast. And that's why, you know, who's not far from Providence, Rhode Island, which would be the nucleus, the epicenter, is our man Peter Murphy. So we're hoping he checks in. Anyway, 32.8 inches in Providence, Rhode Island as of 1 p.m. yesterday, breaking the record for the single greatest snowstorm there since 1978. So they got absolutely U.S. airports. Oh, wow. Just imagine someone like, you know, I think I'm going to try it. I think my flight might get out. What are you doing? Stay home. 20,000 delays, over 6,000 cancellations yesterday, according to FlightAware. Just, yeah, canceled. 32 inches. Yikes. That's a lot.
There was one on there I've noticed, Billy, that's on time. That's the only thing I just noticed. There's someone's on time at 3:55 yesterday. That's a lucky flight right there. Like all the way at the bottom. Someone's on time.
What? Indianapolis. Okay, where did they go from? Oh my God, look at that thing. Canceled. It's a flight from or to Minneapolis? From to Minneapolis. Oh, Philadelphia departures. Oh my God, look at that. So look at the top of the page. It's Philadelphia. So the flight from Philadelphia to Indianapolis made it. Oh, and Fort Myers. Oh, from Atlanta. Atlanta to Fort Myers made it. Somehow, I'll tell you who did that. That was Providence. Yeah. Wow. The blizzard of 78. That was it. You know where you were? You were 4 years old or something. 5 years old.
I know where I was. It's funny. I have a picture because we were just moving into the house my mom lives in Leominster, and my dad, we were painting. So we got there right before it. My dad and I, or it was right around the blizzard in those weeks, we were sleeping on a sleeping bag in the house as my dad painted the new house. But look at this. This is from my mom's window. I wanted to show you this anyway, Billy, because remember yesterday we talked about in front of the driveway, the plows build up.
Yeah.
That's as high as half a house. That's what Peter Murphy may be digging out of right now. This is from my mom's window.
Oh, poor Peter Murphy.
Yeah, this is what he's digging out right now.
You know what? If I know Peter Murphy, he's down the street helping someone else. You know what I'm saying about Peter?
No doubt.
He knows there's a little old lady down the street, and he's helping out. Okay. Before we make that turn right there, Peter Murphy reports. I got to show it to you because you're a good person. I know you're a good person. We're all good people here. But holy crap, there are some depraved people out there in the world. There really are. Did you see what happened in Washington Square? What they're doing in New York, in Washington Square Park. All these people. I remember as a kid going out in the snow day and having fun. It's a snow day in New York. All these hooligans pelting cops with snowballs. These guys who are here to protect you. And look at all these people having fun, pelting cops, pissing them off. This is so agitating. It makes me sick to my stomach. I swear to God. Where are you, Zoran Mamdani? What are you going to do about this? If this starts escalating and look at these cops. It's embarrassing, man. Take that down. I just wanted to show you quickly. I don't want to show you the whole thing, but I'm just deeply upset by that. Deeply upset by that. And I'm from New York City, born and raised, and my heart goes out to every one of those cops. When I was a kid, man, I'd walk those streets, go to school. I felt comforted by those guys, unless I had a dime bag in my pocket. And then I felt like, oh shit, and let me get on this. Let me get out of here. No, I'm kidding. I didn't. But I love the guys in blue sitting there having their coffee on the corner. You'd see them. And, you know, we had a bully in our neighborhood named Fat Allie. And Fat Allie, I've told you about Fat Allie a few times. Fat Allie was a nightmare. He was a 350-pound guy, probably 18 years old. I'm probably 11 or whatever. But back then, you know, we would go to school on our own. Bunch of kids together, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds. We'd ride the city bus, you know, the public bus. Cross town, bang, get off at Madison Avenue, shoot up to school, make the change on our own. But the cops were a great presence, especially from Fat Allie, who was waiting for me when I got home from school a lot. I got to write something about Fat Allie. I got to do an animated series about him. He was a beast. And I mean like an old school late 70s, 80s bully. An accomplished bully, a bully worthy of respect. So good in his craft of bullying that you were like, you had to honor him. In fact, a friend of mine is a deputy editor of the New Yorker magazine. And he wrote a piece on Fat Allie when Fat Allie died. We all got word that Fat Allie died 50-something years old. Heart failure. He was a big guy. But we got word that Allie died, and we all kind of got together in a little, text thread, and we were like, Jesus, I mean, you got to hand it to him. He terrified the shit out of us. This guy had, milk money for sure. I think he mugged me probably 5 times. And then it was weird. We would end up in like street hockey games. He was so fat that he couldn't chase you down the street. So he always had his rollerblades on, and he was incredible on his rollerblades. He was beautifully, you ever seen one of those guys, like a very heavy guy who's like perfect at great balance and stuff, probably can touch his toes, and yet he's huge. And I would hear him coming.
The rollerblades touch just changes everything.
Oh, no. He lived in big baggy jeans, his rollerblades, and his New York Rangers jersey. He always had it on. He's a big Rangers fan. And I would get off the bus at the corner, and I'd walk. My house was at the end of the block, and I'd start to walk. And I would always, when the bus got there, I'd look out the window before I got off, like, is he here? Is he here? No, we're clear, we're good. And I'd get off. And sometimes as you're walking, you could hear him coming because the sound of his rollerblades. And you would hear whoosh, 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 whoosh. And I'd be like, oh, shit. And I'd start running with my little backpack, heading towards the door. He just had it out for me. And he'd come around the corner, and he had this lisp like this. He'd talk like this sometimes at the side. And he would go, yo, what's up, Spaz? And he called everybody Spaz. And you go, hey, Spaz, what's up? What's going on? Just home from school? You got any money in your pocket? And then we're like, oh, Allie, please don't do this. And oh my God, he terrorized the shit out of me. One day, I went to a Mets game. I don't know if I told you the story, but I went to a Mets game, and I had a signed baseball from Tom Seaver. And I'm with my best friend in the park, and we are throwing the ball back and forth like, yeah, look at this. Somehow Allie knew. Fat Allie knew that I had some type of treasure. And around the corner he comes. What's up, Spaz? Let me see that ball. And I'm like, what? Yeah, let's go. I want to show it too, man. Let me see. Ooh, who signed this? Ooh, Tom Seaver. I was like, oh, he can read. Wow, Tom. And I said, oh, shit, Tom Seaver. He's going to take my ball. And he's looking at it. And just then my brother was coming back, the next governor of Maine, coming back from school. He was on the nerdier side in school, and he had his trumpet over his shoulder. He was coming back from band practice, and he was on his bike. Somehow my parents let him ride his bike at 14 years old through the streets of New York City to get to school in Midtown. It all was great until the governor got hit by a truck. That's a different story. His face, I came home from school one day, his face was wrapped in like a mummy.
Where is this story?
So anyway, Allie shows up. My brother had enough. Maybe someone had picked on him at school or something, and he was just not in the mood. And no one stood up to Allie. But they say you knock that bully once in the face, right? Like a hammerhead shark. And he sees me crying in the park. And the governor comes over. He rides his bike up, and he says, what's going on? I said, John, I got my ball. And I'm 11 and he's 14. I said, I got my ball, and Tom Seaver and Allie's taking my ball. My brother he snapped. He said, Allie, get over here. And he walks over to Allie and he goes, give my brother his ball back. And he grabbed the ball and goes, God, give me that. Billy, let's go. And now my brother's 14. I'm 11. Allie's 18. I mean, he's maybe 17. He's big, fat, and he's got peach fuzz all over his face. We walk across the street. He's got my hand, and he's got his bike, and we walk across the street. Allie takes a second to figure out what the hell just happened here. The ball's gone. No one stands up to him like that. And then we look, and Allie starts skating after us, and my brother goes, run. And we run like the wind up the street, and we make it to our door where our 88-year-old doorman, Dan, was standing there with a baseball bat, and he had had enough of Allie too. And he came out, 88. God damn it, Allie, and chased Allie away. It was a great, great moment for the governor. He stood up to the bully, and now he's going to stand up to the people of Maine. I don't know. I don't want to make a political speech.
Billy, what the Tom Seaver baseball? I was just thinking about baseball as a kid, us on the East Coast. Was that your, anything else did you have signed when you were a kid? I know what mine was. Mine was Dennis Eckersley for the Red Sox. My dad got it signed, a picture.
I remember him. Did he have a great mustache?
One of the great stashes, especially for Red Sox. Him and Dewey Evans, White Evans. But
I always have a great deal of respect for a man with a fantastic mustache. You know, really great mustache.
Well, Raleigh Fingers is the most famous of the 80s.
Well, Raleigh Fingers, but that's just a weird mustache. I mean, you don't want to be alone in a room with a guy with a weird, twisty mustache. Something's going beep, 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 beep. That's odd. Anyway, Fat Allie, rest in peace, you son of a bitch. God, you were mean. You were mean, but a very accomplished, and you go down in the Hall of Fame of bullies. You're going to be at a movie someday that I write. Okay? Anyway, Peter Murphy is not with us. I don't know where he is anyway. Ooh. I hate when they say off the record, don't you? Off the record is what he says. All right, let's move into the State of the Union tonight. It's happening, the 119th Congress tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. What a year for the Donald. He is currently sitting at a 36% approval rating, down from 48% 1 year ago. God, it started so promising. It really did. I was all in. Remember, we started Hot Mics on the very day of the inauguration. So we started at the same time, and for Hot Mics, we would do these every show. We'd kind of do does the good outweigh the bad, and it did for a long time. He was knocking down the wokeness and all this stuff, and I was like, yeah, you go, Donald. But the now he's at 36%. The midterms are cascading toward a bomb cyclone of their own, and he needs a big turnaround. He's got to refund $134 billion in tariff revenue. Who gets that? Well, not you. You paid a higher price at the store, but you're not getting the refunds. The refunds will go to like Costco and FedEx and Revlon and Target and all these big companies that had to pay more for their goods. So they're all filing their in U.S. tax court. They are filing right now for their refunds. But Minnesota, ICE, Epstein, cost of living, healthcare overhaul, the healthcare overhaul he's been talking about since 2016, a looming war with Iran, Venezuela. What now? 4 years of war between Russia and Ukraine today. Today is 4 years of war. I just take this moment to say hats off to Zelensky and every Ukrainian in the world. What happened to big bad Russia? What happened to big bad Russia? I mean, this is like all of New England versus Rhode Island. And Rhode Island is hanging on. The Trumpster has ended 8 wars, most of them you haven't heard of, but the big one is Ukraine and Russia, and it keeps going on. Fox News reporting 44% approval rating for Trump. Okay. And if you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you and some boobs to show you. Oh, no. Okay. Team USA.
Billy, before we get there, what do you think he's going to do with the shootings in Minnesota tonight? Is he going to just maybe, whether you believe it or not, come out
he's
and say
he's
tragedy, or is he going to
No, he's going to speak broadly and say, we stand with our law enforcement. We stand. Here's what's interesting. You know, the guy comes out, the sergeant at arms comes out and he says, and now the president of the United States of America. This one's going to, normally they all come together in a moment like this. And, you know, there's applause from the opposite side of the aisle, and there's loud, robust cheers from this side. I think this time you're not going to see the robust. You're going to see the cheers, and over here you're going to hear there's going to be real dissent. It's going to be dramatic. I'm going to watch it. The descent is you're going to feel it in every ounce of you. But look, what I want to talk about is the USA hockey team. They got politicized, and that bothers me. I have to tell you, we talked about this yesterday morning, but who the hell let Kash Patel into that locker room? You know what I mean? It was incredibly selfish thing to do, inserting himself in here. This is the top law enforcement official in America. And I'm not saying he can't have fun and be a hockey fan and do all that, but that is a government paid aircraft right there. He said they were having security meetings in Italy. No, you weren't. We don't care about security with Italy. Italy's got no one cares about Italy. As far as, coordinated efforts, this is one of those things where, like, I go out to dinner, Pat O'Brien, the old host of Access Hollywood, Pat used to go out to dinner. And let's say Jack Nicholson was in the corner of the restaurant having dinner with someone. He would have a huge dinner. He would write off the most expensive bottle of wine, and he would fill out the expense and the thing. He would be like, Jack Nicholson, so-and-so, these are the people I was having dinner with and took out to dinner, like, our subjects. And so he would then expense an $800 dinner, $600 of that wine. But I just love our USA hockey team. They were great. Others have done this celebrating. Oh, yeah, no. Look, don't blame the kids. But I'm just saying Kash Patel going in the locker room, calling the Trumpster. The Trumpster made a great move. It was a brilliant move. This might be Kash Patel's best sting operation ever, setting up the USA men's hockey team to come to the White House and the whole thing. It's a lovely thing. I mean, the Seahawks haven't shown up yet, but to sit up in they're going to be his personal cheering section. I mean, this guy this is like Madonna. I'm going to work with me here. Madonna at the VMAs. Remember? She's making out with Britney Spears over here. Then she's making out with, Christina Aguilera. And I'm thinking, this woman is a vampire. She's sucking the blood out of the young to feed her, to keep her in that great seat of relevance. And the Trumpster is, I think, unfortunately, in that phone call, he said, yeah, I got to invite the girls team. They won too, like as he diminishing them. The women's team has won 3 gold medals in history, and they're fantastic and they're amazing to watch. The energy and the excitement in the women's game is as good at the Olympics. So I hate that this goes on, but leave the boys out of it. The boys did their job. And here's my thing. This is what I want to share with you. I got a friend who plays on the team. Great player. Got to leave his name out of it. And you understand. Because don't, Jesus, Steve, do not. Too much of a great guy. I went to bed last night and I said, it was my opinion, look, and I know several of you will disagree with me. And okay. I'm not going to read the whole thing I sent, but I said, look, before you get on that plane, military plane to fly up there, Trump and Kash Patel, parentheses, who is a total loser. I said that, loser, did everything they could to cover up a pedophile ring that is the centerpiece of the Epstein files. They're still trying to cover it up. The redactions of all the guilty and the publication of victims. They're politicizing you and putting you up there as his personal cheering section. I went on. I said, look, but I just hate the fact that there's any type of usurping of this beautiful moment by your guys. It's your glory, your moment of glory. I appreciate it, Billy. I can't turn down going to the White House with my teammates. Doesn't matter who's there. It's a literal once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I said, okay, great. All right. I said, stand firm on it then and avoid the press. Still photos only. Have fun. Tune out the big guy. I won't say what I said. I really do. He said, I really do appreciate you looking out, though. I said, I love you, pal. I don't want anyone taken away from this great moment. He can't help himself. He released that stupid AI video showing him, roll that, Steve. He released that stupid AI video showing himself scoring all the goals in the game and beating up the Canadians. This Trump spends more time making AI videos like a 10-year-old than regulating AI, right? Selling chips to the United Arab Emirates instead of look at this. He's skating, and then there's another video. I don't think it's on this one where he's fighting in the corner and he's punching a Canadian hockey player like he's winning the fight. I mean, these are the Canadians. They're not the Russians of 1980. You know, look at him standing over the thing. Ah, look at me. There he goes. Oh, beating up a Canadian. Jesus, dude. I mean, I guess, you know, some people are going to say, oh, it's fun and games. Who cares? It's not the way we've treated Canada. Anyway, to finish the text, this player for the USA hockey team who I love, I said, look, man, I spent a lot of time with Trump back in the day. I said, to be clear, I said this. I've spent a lot of time with Trump back in the day, and he's charming as hell. So he's going to have you laughing your ass off for sure. He would be the most effective drug dealer in the world. He said, yeah, it's tough. The media is making this political. Like none of us are thinking about politics. We love our country and the game of hockey, and that's the end of it. You tell a 10-year-old me that one day he'd win a gold medal and get invited to the White House? Are you kidding me? It's a movie. And I said, that is very well said. I'm about to go on, and I'm going to tell the media and tell, you know, everybody to leave the players alone. You know what I mean? You're going to see some people want to chirp at them. Don't. This is their moment. They didn't invite him in. Kash Patel Bigfooted his way into the locker room. He put the Trumpster on the phone. Things just happen. Whatever. These guys, you know, there's 250 years of history in the country, and the White House has said it goes up and it goes down. And it's a great reminder that the country's stronger than any one period. Right? The bones of this country. The Supreme Court just showed us that there is structure to this country beyond one person, however you feel about them. And these guys should not have their moment taken from them. So anyway, I hope the boys have a good time. I hope people leave them alone. And Trump, please don't. They're not there. They're there for the glory of the man. We'll see what he does with it. And amazingly, we'll have another Morning Mics tomorrow. Speaking of hockey, though, this is awesome. We have tomorrow on the show, we will have the greatest two. I'm a big hockey fan, and we'll have the two great announcers who narrated the last gold medal wins for the men's hockey team, and that is Al Michaels will be with us, who, of course, is the great narrator of the Miracle on Ice, 1980. When the U.S. men won the gold. And then Kenny Albert, who did the women's gold and the men's gold, the greatest hockey announcer going right now. He's so good, Kenny Albert. And, you know, his father's Marv Albert, and we will have him on in studio. I can't wait to talk about all this.
Bill, we'll also have one of the great Canadian hockey fans. I mean, one of the biggest hockey fans there are out there that kind of end the show and get his take on what happened.
He's still very sour over the Canadian hockey loss, and also the Canadian curler who was not cheating. Okay, I didn't cheat. Okay, I'm going to leave out the Ontario Premier. We had him up there. Big Al Michaels will be with us, my favorite curmudgeon. Speaking of, did you see what they did to Prince Andrew, Randy Andy? Andrew Mount Bad Boy Windsor. He got trolled at the Louvre Museum in Paris. How does everybody get into the Louvre right here? They're stealing paintings on one floor. They're putting crazy, anyway, the photo was not an official exhibition, but for 15 minutes, if you were in there, a bunch of activists from a group called Everyone Hates Elon framed and briefly placed Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's arrest photo inside the Louvre Museum in Paris. It was a protest stunt, and after 15 minutes, the museum staff removed it. But the name of the painting, if you can see below, He's Sweating Now. And there he is in the back of his car. Randy Andy, you perv. Oh, man. From the people, from a dowry, from the people's hard-earned money to the cold iron bars of jail, you dirty, dirty pig.
You're right about the Louvre, though, Billy. It must be a party there at night. Like whenever that closes, it's like the people come out. They just.
I think Ben Stiller needs to do Night at the Museum too, at the Louvre, because it's going down there. People are stealing jewelry on the second floor. They're putting ladders up the side and grabbing stuff, and there's a rave happening down at the Mona Lisa. Peter Attia. By the way, this is all fallout from the Epstein files of other people. And Peter Attia is one of them, the longevity and health and wellness expert. Peter Attia steps down from CBS News. His contributorship, I thought he was hanging in there for a little while. Looked like he was going to stay. It looked like it was going to blow over. I didn't see it, but I guess there was a second wave, and I have Trump derangement. I do, Linda. I guess I do. Peter Attia. At least I can admit it. You just have to remember, let me just say one final thing on it. And that is that my uncle, and you may agree or may not, the most honorable man I did to serve in that office. And I just remember being in reverence of him and the way he carried himself and the way he rallied the world around good causes. Anyway, so that's what I know. And boy, think about my life. Think about how crazy my life is. And then I run into him. I go to work at NBC and I'm on Access Hollywood and run into this guy. And then it comes around 11 years later and bang, I get taken out completely of my whole life and career because I listened to something. I didn't even say it. Peter Attia, by the way, he said in an email to Jeffrey Epstein, the P word, P ends in Y, is indeed low carb. Still awaiting results on gluten content, though. Now, I mean, it's 9 years ago. It's definitely locker room texting. If he knew anything about Jeffrey Epstein, then he's a scumbag and he shouldn't be holding those, But will we ever know? Will Peter Attia ever speak? Maybe he was just a medical expert who literally had no idea what Jeffrey Epstein was doing in his private life. I don't know. And I think he should speak. By the way, I've DM'd Peter Attia. I'm sure he'll speak to someone, but I'd like to talk to him. And also on the Olympic front, Jesus, are you guys aware of what happened to Lindsey Vonn? Like, I had no idea that the depth of we have so much stuff just happens and moves on, but she's been sitting in this hospital. Like, she was in there for 2 weeks and she almost had her leg amputated. Listen to Lindsey Vonn explain what she went through here. Bless her.
Well, guys, after 2 weeks, I finally made it out of the hospital. It has been quite the journey and by far the most extreme and painful and challenging injury I've ever faced in my entire life times 100. I'll give you the full rundown. Basically, I had a complex tibia fracture. Also fractured my fibular head, my tibial plateau, just kind of everything was in pieces. And the reason why it was so complex was because I had compartment syndrome. And compartment syndrome is when you have so much trauma to one area of your body that there's too much blood and it gets stuck. And it basically crushes everything in the compartment. So all the muscle and nerves and tendons, it all
just
kind
chaos
of
in that area.
Dies. And Dr. Tom Hackett saved my leg. He saved my leg from being amputated. He did what's called a fasciotomy, where he cut open like
Oh
both
my
sides
God.
of my leg, kind of filleted open, so to speak. Let it breathe, and he saved me. And you know, I always talk about everything happens for a reason, but if I hadn't torn my ACL, which I would have torn anyways with this crash, if I hadn't done that, Tom wouldn't have been there. He wouldn't have been able to save my leg.
Providence.
So
See?
I feel very lucky and grateful for him, for this 6-hour surgery he put in on Wednesday to rebuild it, which went amazingly well. But
Wow. Do not ski again.
I was in the hospital a little longer than I had hoped because I had a very low hemoglobin from all the blood loss of all the surgeries. I was really struggling. Pain was a little bit out of control, and I had a blood transfusion, and that helped me a lot. When I turned the corner, and now I am out.
Now I am the badass woman that you remember, and I will get back on my skis again, because that's what I did. She and Tiger Woods, that they fell in love, that they had a little thing together. I assume they were in love. Is no accident. I mean, these two, Tiger it's the same thing that happened to him. Although, how do you do that playing golf? I understand how you do it as the greatest downhill skier of all. But anyway, I guess that's how intensely he played the game of golf. Sliding doors, Lindsey Vonn and Tiger Woods. But boy, is she a badass or what, that woman? And she will, if she can, get back up on those skis. I'd like to see her not do that. I really would. But geez, you know what else? You know where my mind goes? Like, what if that Dr. Tom Hackett was like single, 48, handsome, little bit of gray coming in here on the side, beautiful doctor's coat, saves her life, damsel in distress, and they fell in love. Now, Tom's probably 72 and just, but that would be a great love story. I'd like the rights to that. You know what? Doctor is the sexiest. Let me ask you a question. If you were reading AI romance erotica, right? They let that happen on AI. Is it the doctor? Is it the fireman? Is it the policeman? They need a rebound, those guys. They think they're just who is, if you have a savior complex thing, I don't know. I think it's the doctor. Doctors we rely on in such a huge way. I can't tell you how many doctors I've been relying on lately for my daughter and her head, and Allie's father right now in his surgery. Doctor. Yeah. Doctor. No, doctor. It's the rocker, the rock and roll. Oh, really? Okay. Well, now we're just,
You know what
was I thinking?
Everyone, they say all actors, what they really want to be are rock stars.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather be a rock star too than an actor, because you get up there and you're in the moment. You go, and actors, cut. Okay, we're going to take a 20-minute break, and then you sit around the set and you wait, and we see it all strung together. But a Broadway actor would be the way to do it. Go up there, do your show, be in your moment for 2 hours, and then walk away. But the making of a series or a film is actually very boring. I couldn't do it.
Billy, I got a question for you.
Question.
Broadway. You brought up Broadway. Could you do the be so vulnerable that you could do the naked Broadway thing, come out completely naked?
I was just talking to Scott Wolf about this. When Scott Wolf was just here with his family, he and I were sitting up one night, and he was telling me about, he's like, is in the heyday. He'd done the movie White Squall, and he got it. It was after Party of Five, and he got the offer to do this play called Take Me Out. And it's about a gay baseball player, like as if Derek Jeter, as if Derek Jeter were gay. And it was big on Broadway. It had a great run, and they were like, we're doing Take Me Out. And he was, at the time his agent called, he was doing a play in Boston, and he's like, you're going to love this play. It's very popular. It's going to be on Broadway. They want you in the role. Hot little Bailey from Party of Five. And he's like, yeah, I should do this. And he's living with a friend. I can't remember the friend's name. And he says, yes, they want me to do this role. And he says, but there's a scene where our star, our gay baseball player,
Oh boy.
has to remove the pinstripes to reveal what's going on. It's like an Equus moment for little Daniel Radcliffe, who apparently held his own on his nude scene. By the way, Julia Roberts showed up on opening night when Daniel Radcliffe was in Equus. They're like, okay, great news. Julia Roberts is here. And he's like, that's great news. I'm nude. What are you talking about? Oh my God, turn on the heat. Get the air conditioning off. But Wolf, he's like, what am I going to do? And he and I are laughing. He says to his buddy, he's like, would you do me a favor? He's like, what? And he's like, would you give me a reading and tell me, if I should take this role? This is so true. This is true. And he says, okay. And his friend goes, yeah, sure, no problem. So he goes, all right. And he's like, not a special moment. I didn't fluff. I had to be at an absolute average moment. And he pulls down the trousers and his friend goes, nope. No. Steve, that makes you feel so much better. I know why. I know why Steve's laughing extra hard.
But you didn't answer the question, though. Would you be so vulnerable? Would you?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. Not even with a prosthetic, maybe. Every time, whenever I watch a series, right? Pick it, The White Lotus, right? And you see the schwanz. I'm laying there with Allie. We're watching together. I go, prosthetic. I read it in Entertainment Weekly. It's a prosthetic. I said, prosthetic. And she's like, how do you know? I said, no. It is. I read it. He said it. I said it, whether he said it or not. I'm immediately shoving that off. There's not a chance. Because I don't want her seeing go, well, how come no?
Right to the internet. Right to the internet.
It's right here, Allie. It's right here. Entertainment Weekly. Didn't happen. Okay. Will you please grow up? My God, so childish. It's unbelievable. Can we? Oh, the shortage of dicing fluid. Oh, Pamela. Yeah. Oh my God. Isn't it crazy? Oh, yeah. This is a good one. The dentist for Jack Hughes is going to be famous, who scored the winning goal, got his teeth knocked out. Yeah. Hey, you see this, Billy? Did you hear Savannah offered $1 million? Well, I mean, we're in the 4th week. I don't understand. Listen, I don't understand why everyone didn't offer $1 million right off the bat. And I'm not criticizing at all, but like, what is this? 50,000? Okay, we'll go to 100,000. I know what I made at it today. I mean, I'm just, I'm sure there was regulations and reasons, but yeah, okay, great. Wait, we need to shout out Joy, who became a grandma to baby Glee. Oh, wow. Joy, huh? Big boy, according to Joy. Big boy, huh? 8 pounds. Yeah, that's a big fella. Who had the biggest baby? What's a big baby? I was like 7, but my little Josie was 5 pounds, 5.56, like 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Mary was 6 pounds, 8 ounces. And then Lily, as they each one got heavier, it was 7 pounds something. But we had no 8-pounders. Nothing in there. Wow. Oh, there's a new video with it? Oh, okay. Here we go, guys.
We haven't watched it.
From Savannah Guthrie.
Hi there.
Oh, God.
I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then of worrying about her and fearing for her, and aching for her, and most of all, just missing her, just missing her. We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing.
Yeah, still.
We still believe. We still believe
Yeah, I do
in a
too.
miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is.
Yeah.
We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. We are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
Yeah, man, that is so sad. Somebody does know. There's no way that this is a person completely acting alone and hasn't told some depraved person who's probably depraved enough to, say, wait a minute, I'm going to turn on my buddy now for $1 million. And that's wonderful. That's just $1 million for information. So somebody turn on that somebody, because we know this. That's somebody who needs the money, who's stealing an old lady in the middle of the night out of her bed. Shame on you, you evil, terrible person. The problem is, you offer somebody $1 million for this information, they're forever known as the person who only came forward about an old lady being stolen from her bed in the middle of the night because $1 million was offered. Not because it's the right thing to do. It's the only thing to do. But what's interesting, Savannah is now opening up to the possibility that she's gone. So that's which I never wanted to do, and of course, you have to. But, when she talks about her returning to the Lord she loves so much, I mean, Whoever did this is you are going straight to hell. This is a little church lady who is nothing but kind and good and you take her. I mean, it's just unbelievable that there could be such evil in the world. But I will say this, I mean, no one, isn't it? It's just astounding the twists and turns that life takes. It's just astounding that this woman could live the life she lived, raise the children she raised, retire to her little community, go to her church, all this. And then all of a sudden she becomes the most famous kidnapping victim of all time. What? My life has taken a couple of wild, whoa. We all have. And in the end, what do you have? What do you have that holds you and holds your center together? Nancy had the greatest, which means she's going to be okay. She had the love of Jesus, faith in her heart. And we're all going home, whether we go home at 84 or we go home at 48 like James Vanderbeek, or at 53 like Eric Dane, or however you get there. 53 and 84, there is no difference when it comes to eternity. It's all a blip on the radar screen, including 8 years old or 84 years old, a blip on the radar screen. If you believe in eternity, life everlasting with your Lord and Savior, I do. So Nancy is going to be just fine. She's in good shape. Boy, I would like the reading that she's going to get when it's Judgment Day. I hope I'm going to walk up and go, where was Nancy sitting? Can I have just a little juju from her chair? Bless your heart, Nancy, wherever you are. We love you so much. Jesus, I feel terribly for Savannah and her family, and it's nice that they're donating to charity as well. And if that person, come forward and listen, we'll all do our best to keep your name anonymous and the fact that you came forward only because the money was offered. All right? We'll leave that out. Speaking of, oh man, there's just so much going on, right? I was going to talk about this. I think I will. I did watch over the weekend losing the famous last words about Eric Dane, because I always thought, God, he was really, really handsome. And Jesus, was that guy handsome. I mean, you're McDreamy and you think you got the world at your feet, and then all of a sudden they bring in McSteamy and you're like, wait, if I'm Patrick Dempsey, I would just shrivel up. But no, he stood tall, and they said, you know what? We're better together. We're Ponch and John. We're Ponch and John in the OR. But, Eric had this incredible challenge in life. He lost his father when he was 7 years old. His dad sort of felt like he wasn't enough and went into the bathroom with a firearm. And, they tried to tell Eric as a kid that it was an accident. He knows it wasn't an accident. But the loss caused Eric to kind of emotionally shut down as a young kid. It led to feelings of detachment and suppressed feelings of emotional feelings, difficulty connecting emotionally throughout his life. And it led ultimately to his struggles with drugs and alcohol, which he fought like hell with. But then it ultimately led to therapy and coming to terms with all of this. And he made an effort, a real effort, to be better and more present for his girls, to sit in the discomfort that we all feel, right? We feel discomfort in life sometimes. It's like, this is what I'm working psychedelics and things that I have done. Sometimes I can relate to that. I feel like there's a little bit of a discomfort feeling in there. And it's, what is that? Stop the boozing, minus last Thursday with Alan Jackson. Jesus, Alan, you got me again. But you know what? I don't regret it. It's just fine. I returned right to my little wagon. But he made an effort. And I have to say, Rebecca Gayheart, I think about her, and this is actually, I forgot to tell you this, but when we were in the hospital the first night with Allie's father, Allie ran into Rebecca in the hallway, and he had just died. And they'd known each other, so there was a hug and a whole thing. I forgot that. And she was distraught. You know, they got separated. They were married for 14 years, got separated in 2018. And then last year, when he got sick, they were like, forget this, put the divorce on hold. We will stay together. And she was by his side throughout. She would bring the kids over they lived just 10 minutes apart. And so she would bring the kids over to his house for dinner all the time, and got to see, they spent a lot of time together. There's Billy and Georgia, his daughters. Boy, Billy's tall. But anyway, I think about Rebecca because she really sacrificed, for him, knowing that there was this emotional void. So think about their relationship, probably a lot of things that she wasn't getting, and he said this in famous last words about her: I will never, by the time anybody sees this, have fallen in love with another woman as deeply as I fell in love with Rebecca. We still love each other deeply. I just think we don't want to live with each other, but there's a lot of love there. I can relate to that. I can relate to that with my ex-wife, Sydney. I love her. I do. I think it's, but we're on the phone last night. One of our daughters was violently ill after eating something. And so, calling that you never stop parenting, no matter how old they get. But anyway, Eric Dane said he immediately told Rebecca's friend at the time when he had met her, he said, I'm going to marry that girl. It's one of those great stories. I'm going to marry that girl. And Rebecca's friend said, oh, no, you're not. She's totally in love with her fiance. She's getting married already. And she was engaged to get married to someone else. And that they were together since they were like 15 years old, and they're gonna get married. And you know who that he was engaged to? She was engaged to? Brett Ratner, the director of Melania. They left it out in all the press coverage and the People magazine coverage. She was engaged to Brett Ratner way back in the day. Anyway, a lot of great co-star tributes. Kim Raver, who played Dr. Teddy Altman in Grey's Anatomy, said Eric was a light. You'd see it effortlessly shine from him on the set of Grey's, as well as when he was with Rebecca and the girls. During filming, he'd get this twinkle in his eye with a mischievous look, and he would deliver the perfect comedic timing, a line of dialogue that would just floor you. What a nice compliment. Patrick Dempsey, I love this. Patrick Dempsey said, he came into the show. He wasn't part of the original cast, and he wasn't sure how I would take it, right? Now think of Eric Dane. He's sitting there going, is this guy going to be, he's handsome. But I'm like, he's the guy, in that game they play Kiss, Marry, what is it? Kiss, Marry, Kill? It's really not Kiss. Yes. It's not Kiss. It's boom. Marry, Kill. I think Dane is the boom and Dempsey is the marry. And we can all.
Okay. Wait, sorry. Now you think
I'm not sure you and I should be playing this game.
No. I do like someone commented.
Let's let Joy Schmehar decide this. So who's the kiss, marry, kill of Grey's Anatomy? I think, and you can put Dr. James Pickens in there too, the actor James Pickens.
Someone said in the comments, which you alluded to, which is McDreamy handled it well when McSteamy came. Like, wait, I'm the good looking guy.
Yeah.
He handled it well. This is what he had to handle.
We hired you to be the good looking guy on the show, the good looking doctor. Oh, I like this, by the way. Thank you. Shtup, marry, kill. That's nice. Shtup is a safe, comfortable place. We all have to go on. Who is the kill, though? But I think the shtup is definitely Dane, right? If you're just going to have one shtup, and we're not like that. Everybody's got wonderful standards, and we don't do that. But if you're going to just one little overnight, just like a, okay. Let's talk about how sexy Alec Baldwin is. Now that poor guy's covered in baby food and it's just, who's to kill? But from that show. And don't forget the guest starring role that my great friend Chris O'Donnell had on the show. I don't know. But I think that's pretty great. Dempsey says he came into the show. He wasn't part of the original cast, and he wasn't sure how I would take it. He comes out in his first scene, half dressed, looking like this Adonis. And we just had a big laugh all about it. Like, can you believe this shit? How great. Very sexy. Okay. That's it for us today, I think. Right? Right, Steve? Steve needs a smoothie.
I was going to say, we've been all over the place the last couple of weeks. So it's been a couple of weeks since a Billy smoothie.
Yeah. We're going to make one today.
Do you have bananas? Sorry, everyone needs to know this. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I have everything that's needed. And a special ingredient you don't know about. That's not dairy, so you don't die. Tomorrow, Hot Mics, Kenny Albert in studio, the voice of hockey at the Olympics. What a wonderful guy, son of Marv, the hardest working man in sports broadcasting. He travels. He lives on a red eye. And before that, his predecessor and the great narrator of the 1980 gold medal match, The Miracle on Ice, Al Michaels. We will have them both in one sitting. And the angriest Canadian fan that you love to watch on America's Got Talent will also be with us to play the butt of the joke. Okay? We need a good butt of the joke. Have a great day, everyone. Be kind to everyone and to yourselves. And I will... Let's forget about it, okay?
I'm not sure if today or tomorrow after the State of the Union is for the day to start it, though.
I love Al Michaels, says Flowers. He hates my impersonation. You want to hear my impersonation of Al Michaels? Should I do it or not? Do you want it or no? I do an impersonation of Al Michaels. He hates it. Absolutely hates it. But I love it. And we play golf at the same club. And the guys on the patio having a brew, they love it. They love it. They want me to do it. And he gets so mad when I do it. But I like to do it.
Come on.
And then when I'm done, I say, I had to do it. I had to do it.
Come on, Billy. Give a little bit.
All right, you ready? Sunday Night Football, it's the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Raiders right now. Tonight, Michelle Tafoya is on the sideline. Chris Collinsworth alongside Michelle wearing a beautiful leather short crop top leather jacket. Do you believe in miracles?
Come on.